back with another episode of Who That Rises Up Sports Talk with a Gay Twist. And I guess since my co-host, the sickly Glenn Reeves is
Did
late.
you have to put 60 in front of it? I'm still gay and fabulous, bitch. I can tell you that. She may not be 100%, but she is gay and fabulous.
Well, so as you know, I am Kenny Ray, and
I'm Glenn Reeves.
Glenn has
Of the
graced
two of
us.
those things. Of the two of those things. You want to do that, you raggedy bitch. Karen, I'm sorry. Karen, we'll get into that in a second.
Yes, Glenn has graced us with his presence. He came out of his cocoon or whatever the hell's going on with you this time. See, look at you.
Usually so this is my funny thing, y'all. I usually when I get ready to say something smart, I cough. So my husband says that's the Lord.
It
Because
is.
I was getting ready to say something smart. But that was the Lord correcting me and say, shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
So fair assessment. I am back. I needed this. It has been a very long 2 weeks due to the hurricane. Just so you guys know, I am well. Thank you. I did listen to the first part of the episode. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate the love. We made it through. I know what primitive bitches feel like, Amish folks that don't do electricity. She's a gay woman, honey. She don't like to be without lights, honey. She got to wash this ass.
Was that hot?
The one thing I do know is I couldn't cook, so bless the Lord. I mean, hey, could turn on my stove. So with that being said, I was all right with God on that one. But I was peanut butter and tuna fish. You never know what kind of bitch you are till you learn how to eat peanut butter on crackers and tuna fish on crackers. That's what I can say.
Oh Lord, how long did y'all go
Also,
without
love
power
a good
again?
chicken salad, honey. I ain't mad. But thank you guys so much for the love. And then she turned around and got an upper respiratory infection. So listen, if it ain't one thing, it's another. But listen, my grandfather said it best. Any day you can put 2 feet on the ground, you're going to do your absolute best and try to make it the best day. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Were you out in the streets again?
Huh?
Were you out in the streets again?
No, this was just effect from when I was in the hospital.
Okay.
It just, the antibiotics didn't catch all of the infection. So they took me off of them and so it caught back up. She 45, honey. She ain't 22 no more, honey. She
If she act like it.
She does. And I will say, but she is 45 and fabulous, but baby, listen, let me tell you what ain't. Listen, this body is a good 62 or 70. I got to be something. Mama is tired, honey. My doctor said, wait, y'all, I have to tell y'all this. My doctor said, well, you've met your copay for the year.
Oh.
Thanks. Thanks, fucker. Appreciate you. But I needed this tonight. I wanted to make sure all of what energy I did have left, I wanted to come back to you guys. My gays, my sporties, and of course my sister and my other good sister on the other end, Afton. So thank you guys so much. But on with that. Listen, children.
You had to come back. There's so much that happened.
Baby, listen. Let me tell you what I do now. If this football season is nothing else, it is fucking interesting.
Yes.
I don't know if if y'all are watching the same football I'm watching, but every time I turn on Sunday football, first of all, let me say this. I'm going to start with the obvious, the black and gold. Listen, children. I don't know who the fuck these Saints are. I have never seen these bunch of motherfuckers before in my life. They have scored 11 touchdowns in two games.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Carr looked like a MVP quarterback. I said, who the fuck is that white man? He doing Mike Tyson in the end zone and shit. I said, well, who? Man, wait a motherfucking minute. Excuse me. I said, well, wait. And then wait. To top it all off, they went into Dallas and gave y'all. Hold on. Let me rewind. Let me backtrack.
That game made my nipples hard.
Let me say this. America's team, or whatever the fuck y'all call yourselves, baby, The way New Orleans went into Dallas to show all they ass on every national street,
I mean,
every they was all in y'all streets parading. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all let New Orleans Saints, and I do, like I said, I wasn't because of course when we went 1-0, y'all, trust me, don't get me wrong, we played the Panthers. We'll get to that later.
yeah.
We'll get to that later.
It's like
But
let's
then
calm
we turned
down.
around. Right. I said I said the same thing, and I'm sure y'all did in the episode. Let's not get too motherfucking excited. We all playing the Panthers, which their coach is kind of cute, but I digress. I
No,
said we.
child, he is more than cute. He's fine. I
What the fuck was he?
didn't
But
even know. I saw him pop up on the press conference. I was like, who is
hey,
that?
Hopper, you know my favorite line, Hopper, who this man? But you're right. So then, as the week progressing, and Fox NFL Sunday, out ESPN Live, and all that other good shit. They all picked Dallas. They was like Dallas winning to Cleveland. Okay. Uh, Once again, they played Cleveland. They ran their ass into Cleveland thinking they was big shit because they gave Dak big money right before he walked out on the field, and they gave Season money a week before that. And all the pundits were like, Dallas is going, the Saints are going to know something this time. Blah 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 blah. Baby, listen. Clint Kubiak said, "Let me tell y'all a thing or two about this. Let me show you who the fuck I am." Within the first 10 minutes, first 3 minutes of this game, he pulled, and literally, y'all, I think the play in the playbook is called Just Run. Because Rashid Shaheed just takes off running. There is no plan of action. That motherfucker just take off running. Catch me if you can. So y'all name it what you want to. He just throw the ball. And he caught it. I said, okay, here we are again. Cool. Alvin Kamara said, I'm going to show you why I want my money. 4 touchdowns later. So let me ask the Dallas fans a very valid question because I know Kenny will get to this in just a second. But where was the offense? And more importantly, where was the Dallas Cowboys period that y'all so humbly talked about, y'all bragged about, y'all gave all this money to? Because every time they appeared to Jerry Jones, I know in his head, because he just said damn on TV, but in his head he's probably using words like motherfucker, fuck
Oh, he's
this.
dropping N bombs like you ain't never heard.
In his head, that's why I
Joe
said in his
Jones,
head he
Jared
probably called
Jones is
everybody on
thinking.
TV the N-word.
Jared Jones is thinking the N word for sure. But to answer your question, Dallas's defense was the same defense that they were there. That was the same defense from last year. Um,
They
except
made,
for
and we did say this really quickly. They made no changes to the defense or the offense.
right. Like I said, so all they did was get a step slower because they're a year older and get more expensive. That's it. But they suffered from the same problems in this game as they did last year. They are horrible against the run. I
Awful.
mean, horrible,
Awful.
awful. I heard this. So first of all, let's just start off with because they were talking about this on Get Up.
Oh yeah, I watched it. I'm
100.
watching even they script the next time on first take too because I wanted to hit all the bullshit.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I can't do Stephen A. But anyways, 100 Saints rush for 190 yards. Okay.
Yep.
No, that's not the interesting part. Of that 190, 134 of those yards were before contact was even made. Alvin Kamara was not only scoring touchdowns, but he was standing up walking into the end zone. The Saints offensive line was pushing the Cowboys defensive front so far back that these runners weren't even getting touched till they got to the secondary. Like it was insane. It was insane. But I know there was all this talk with the Cowboys, but their defense was designed to stop or to defend against a West Coast offense.
Correct.
So what do they do well? They cover and they rush the passer. But they, as the Saints clearly showed.
I'm gonna talk about one play, and it was the screen pass to Alvin Kamara. That boy ran 52 yards untouched.
Mm-hmm.
untouched. I said, well, wait, I'm confused. And Mike McCarthy looking like he was just sweating his ass off. He didn't know what the fuck to do.
Well, first of
He
all,
didn't know what.
Mike McCarthy is always sweating his ass off because I mean, look at him. Second, um, second, I want to go back and talk about Derek Carr, and Derek Carr is the epitome. Or he's not the epitome because there's a couple of situations like this, but what he's showing is that situations matter, especially for quarterbacks. And
Correct.
I think Derek Carr is in a right place, right time situation with, as you already mentioned,
Kubiak.
Kubiak. He's running Kyle Shanahan's system. Like Kyle Shanahan is our modern day offensive guru. The
Guru,
system work.
absolutely.
We're seeing now the system. Obviously, the system worked in Atlanta because they went to a Super Bowl before he became the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. It's clearly working in San Francisco. They run the same offense in Miami, and now they run the same offense in New Orleans.
In New Orleans.
It works. So
I mean, working like a charm.
yeah, it works. It works. You add on the fact that the Saints have a very good offensive line, clearly. Um, and that makes them very formidable. So I just kind of saw this as the Saints announcing to the league that they believe they are for real. And
Also, what I will
I think
say,
that they are.
Is their defense looks hungry.
They're bullies. They're stout, like they are. They're
Alontae
yeah.
Taylor, Tyrann Mathieu.
Mhm.
They moving Cam Jordan inside instead of on the outside.
He needs to be
Is
there.
brilliant. He
Mhm.
needs to be on the inside. He does a lot better on the inside. Carl Granderson on the outside. They was giving Dak Prescott all the business
Yeah,
Sunday.
but I mean,
Sunday.
but that's awesome. I mean, yeah. But anywho, I'll just say that. I mean, I think the Saints will cool down a little bit. I think
Yeah,
that's inevitable.
I
I
do
do think
think
they're for real.
I'm looking forward to Sunday's game against the Eagles.
This is going to be fun.
Right,
I think we're picking that later, right?
right.
Yeah.
We're in New Orleans.
But my only trepidation is the injury bug because they're a little
Correct.
older. Alvin Kamara already has kind of a history of it. So we'll see. As long as they stay healthy, I mean, they stay healthy or healthy-ish, whatnot. But I do think, I think they're the real deal, which sucks.
He said we
'Cause
suck.
it does suck because they're in the same division as the Falcons. But and I got to hear y'all coming up to my stadium talking all that shit and carrying on. But and they
Well,
better, like and that
since
could.
we then drove to Atlanta to talk about it, let's chat. So, this game, I watched this Monday night game against the Eagles.
Mhm.
I wanted y'all to do well for a reason. Now, when I say I wanted y'all to do well, I wanted y'all to win, and y'all did. But Kirk Cousins is that knee is no longer good, and the star is starting to set. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
I,
he's mediocre.
I watched him throw. I was like, Kyle Pitts is your biggest target. He didn't get the last several catches until the fourth quarter. You run in Bijan and Tyler. Tyson. I'm not sure of his
Algier,
first.
Algier.
Yeah, y'all running them to the death. You
Well,
get what I'm
they
saying?
should.
Uh,
They should.
well, Drake London is actually good.
Yeah, but this is a offense. Okay. Running backs are workhorses. That's the nature of the position. You don't
Well, very
play
true.
unless you don't know that. And the strength of Atlanta's offensive line is their run block. They're very good run blocking. Their zone run blocking scheme is very good. Bijan Robinson is a good zone scheme running back. It works. I like that. Kirk Cousins. Just because we won that game, you still do not get a gold star on your homework and a kiss on the cheek from me.
That, I was
Let
waiting.
me
You said not a
explain.
ghost on the homework and a kiss.
Let me explain. The NFL has 32 teams. Each one of them has a starting quarterback.
Correct.
Those 32 people are the best in the world at what they do, which is playing the position of quarterback in American football, right?
Correct.
So when Kirk Cousins, who happens to be one of them, a veteran, and uh, um, he gets in a 2-minute drill, and Philadelphia puts no pressure on, and I mean none.
None.
Completely
They're
clean
not
pocket.
the team. No, they're not.
Completely clean, and they dropped into a zone almost prevent. It wasn't quite prevent, but they dropped into a zone coverage, which means that no pressure, zone coverage. So you literally can just sit in the pocket and pick them apart.
Yep.
You were supposed to get that winning drive and win that game. That was not some kind of grade A performance. That was not some kind of aha moment. That was not some welcome to Atlanta. No, I'm not giving you credit for doing what the fuck you supposed to do. That's like motherfuckers in jail. So just saying shit like I take care of my kids. You supposed to. Like, I'm not giving you credit for doing that. I went to work today.
Those throws and those plays look relatively. You get what I'm
no. All I mean, up until then, at the very least, at least I'm starting to see some NFL throws. But that took to the fourth quarter to get, because as you were pointing out, not only was he having trouble connecting with Kyle Pitts, but the throws were consistently either too low. He did that quite often, which means that the ball is not making it.
wide receiver
behind them.
Mooney is what our wide receiver 2 is Mooney, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just
He's
want to
very
be
good.
correct.
I like him.
Yeah, I do. From Chicago.
So what I was, I kind of the seed for this last thought was planted by Colin Cowherd, and it's starting to try to understand what it is that is so pedestrian about Kirk Cousins, and it's the fact that he can't do anything. He can't do anything successfully off script. And I'm starting to see that that's kind of the dividing line between the great ones, the elite, and pedestrian and mediocre. Is, can you do something off script? Well, I'm not saying reckless. Will Levins, I'm looking at you.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Anywho,
detrimental and bullshit.
But it means that when a play or a situation or whatnot is not going going to plan, can you do something that is off script? Can you make it? And Kirk Cousins does not have that. Yes, he has utility running a system under center, a lot of play action pass utility.
Correct.
But as far as this category that he's in, include the likes of, for example, Jared Goff. Jared Goff is great as long as things are going to plan. The second that it's not, you're not going to get anything off script. You're going to get, you're going to get pedestrian as Jared Goff.
Which we'll get to in a second. I feel like we got parts of that Sunday.
Yeah. Second thing, Nick Sirianni, head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. Ooh, you in trouble.
What were you thinking?
Molly, you in trouble, girl. Your seat is hot.
I mean, you pretty and all, but what the fuck was happening?
Is he? We have to.
No, I promise we don't. I mean, your eyes are pretty. Sorry. Let
Well,
me go backwards.
okay. They need to do whatever they need to do to keep him out of the offense and the quarterback. I don't know if they got to hide the keys from him, if they got to
That's not hold that part of the meeting at a different time in
at
the
a
film.
different time, or do it outside in the car, or I don't know. But do not let Nick Sirianni in. Okay, because clearly, as we saw last year, the
Right.
more he was involved, the worse things seem to be. And everybody's been talking about all week, this 3rd-and-3 situation where they decided to throw the out to
Yep.
Saquon Barkley and he dropped the
Yep. And
ball.
he
And
dropped it.
this was supposed to be a defining moment.
Yep.
But 2 things. I don't have a problem with the call. What I do have a problem with is that right after that, they settled for the field goal. So my thing is that strikes me as like, if you're going to be aggressive in that moment, then be ready to go for it on 4th down. Like
Yep.
you could like that.
Because I thought they were. I literally thought they were.
That's because that's what come. If you were being consistent, if you had a plan, then if you did, that's probably what you would have what you would have done.
Absolutely.
Or if you you put yourself in a position to go for it on 4th, if you need to run the ball, 3rd down, get a 4th one. This is not just whatever, and then you've got the tush push, the most unstoppable play in the league.
The
You could have
most
sat there and just did
unstoppable
2
play
of them.
there is.
So that's my thing. It's like run the ball, do tush push, get your 1st down.
Close out the game.
I don't get it. Like I don't even think that's sophisticated. I just think that that's just common sense. So
I thought they were going to run it again on 3rd-and-3, and if they didn't get it, they were a yard short. It was a tush push.
That's exactly what I thought. Yeah.
They did that play 3 times prior to that section. Not stopped it.
No. Yeah,
Not
it just didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense. But yeah. So Nick Sirianni, like, yeah, and you know, the scuttlebutt about you know, issues between him and Jalen Hurts is starting to bubble up again, and
I've
Jalen
heard that.
Hurts, and it may be rightfully so, just doesn't trust him with the offense.
Jalen Hurts finally started to run the ball at least.
He didn't have a choice. I think, and also you got to remember though, like also last year I don't think he was healthy.
Right.
So I think I think that's also a big part of it. But yeah, the Eagles got to get this. Also,
Let me actually go ahead.
Also, I will say this: AJ Brown isn't back yet.
He's out for at least the next 3 weeks.
I do think that is a significant factor. I don't think it's the factor, but I do think that's a significant factor. But they got to do something to get this offense together. And you thought, I was, with Saquon Barkley, that it would be. I mean, I'm assuming that's what you brought in. Maybe star running back for
To be that back.
To be that guy.
You put him out in the flat, and he thought about the end zone before he had the ball.
I don't know what he was thinking about. It sure wasn't about catching that ball.
No, look, not a chance in hell.
I'm about to say something for you.
Go ahead, Malta. Go ahead.
Oh Lord. Anywho,
Well, speaking of which, let's go ride off into Kansas City. And before I do, we do have a fan question from from Sailor. Sailor is from Kansas City, Missouri, spelled Saylor.
Oh, okay, that's cute.
Yeah, that is cute. I thought so too.
Sailor Moon.
That is a good show, but I want to be the Huff of Halloween. Anyway, before I delve off, because I'll lead off down the path, honey.
I know you will. I know you will.
Yep, before my memory go fuck way the other way. Anyway, her question is, over the course of the last 2 games, Travis Kelce has had 5 receptions for 35 yards. Is there a problem? before we talk about how good Kansas City is, what is the issue with Travis Kelce in the offense?
Um, something's obviously up.
Because he had 5 yards this entire game.
I know he's been pretty much non-existent for the first 2 games of the season. I've noticed
Right.
that myself. And to answer the question is I don't know. Like I don't know if he didn't come into the season in shape. He may be nursing a slight injury or something, or
I've
he
heard
may
that he might be nursing an injury.
yeah, or he may just be losing his stuff because I mean he's put in a lot of work for some years now, and NFL bodies are odd. So it might just be that. But
Now, I will say Kirk Herbstreit made a comment, and I want to know how true this is. Whether y'all think gays weigh in, and they said, "Why is it that?" Still speaking to Travis Kelce, why did we see more of Taylor Swift than we saw of Travis Kelce the entire game? Which they counted. They counted, and there's a highlight of it on ESPN. I mean, on YouTube. Sorry, Taylor Swift was shown 37 times throughout the entire broadcast.
money, money, money.
Maybe she is Taylor Swift if they have an NFL. Money talks, Charlie.
Right, so
She's
that
worth more.
money may
She's worth
become
more than Travis.
right.
She's worth more than Travis.
She is the biggest pop star in the world right now. You want women. You've been trying to market for women to women. The NFL has been trying to market them for a long time, successfully, I might add. And so, yeah, when Taylor Swift shows up, you put Taylor Swift on the screen.
Afton just said it's mustache and pussy. Afton, you are absolutely right, Mama. And ladies and gentlemen, box checked. He might want to lay off. Not that she said it. I'll go ahead and add to it. He might want to lay off the pussy for a minute. Bro, you ain't playing football correctly.
I didn't want to say also is one of the reasons because it's he's been living a good life for a little while now. And
around here on tour and shit, right.
What's in Paris too when he was like, yeah. So I don't. I mean, so
in his top hat and shit.
I'm not saying that is a part of it per se, but it's not unreasonable to ask the question. But I more
y'all
like
remember. Y'all remember about 5, maybe longer than 5 years when Tony Romo was quarterback of the Cowboys. He's running around with Jessica Simpson. She's running her ass in the game. I will stay your ass at home. I'm just saying, girl. Listen. I've heard it once. Pussy does not make a man change. It may make him change his position on some shit. It does not make him change, honey. After you ain't saying shit tonight, but you said that, honey. Listen, I'm with you, honey. Taylor Swift around here coming up, showing up football games, and you catch one ball for 5 yards. Motherfucker, really?
I think it's more of him just not being ready to play. But I think
the Chiefs and the Eagles. But let me ask you another question: do you think Xavier Worthy is a one-trick pony? All Xavier Worthy does is run straight down the field.
All that he do. What you think? What Tyreek Hill did?
But Tyreek Hill learned the plays. He went from special. He learned the plays and the routes. That's how Tyreek Hill became Tyreek Hill. Now
Tyreek Hill became Tyreek Hill because he's the fastest person in the NFL.
I mean, that is very true, Mel.
That is it. Sorry.
Now to the obvious question: are the Chiefs on another level? Or are we just because by all right, do you think they should have lost that game? That 4th and 16, they should have lost that game
without question. Without question, and that's the reason why I say that they are in a whole level. And this is what I mean by that. It's kind of like they're like constrictors. Like they don't beat themselves. They're not going to beat themselves, and they don't lose situationally, which means that you have to play a clean game from beginning to end to beat them.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter if you outplay them for an entire game. You have to play a clean game from beginning to end. Otherwise, they'll find a way to come back and beat you.
Because all in all, looking at that play, that ball actually was not catchable.
I know I disagree. It touched stands. You have to call it.
I know it did. I know that. But if you'd have just left him there, would he have caught the ball?
Oh yeah, I know that. Well, see, okay, so perfect example. That's what I mean. That's situational football. Bengals lost it. Like that doesn't happen with the Chiefs. They don't lose situationally. But you like besides that, there's also two other situations that I know we'll get caught up on the refs and all that, blah blah blah. But it wasn't just that play because we're not talking about the fact that the Bengals missed extra point.
They did, and the Bengals don't still look like the Bengals, even without Jamar Chase right now.
Well, I mean, I don't even think that. Like again, they outplayed the Chiefs. Like they should have won that game. I don't think that it's a situation of the Bengals. Granted, I don't think they're playing up to their potential, which should be scary to the Chiefs. But Joe Burrow definitely outdueled Pat Mahomes. Like they flat out outplayed the Chiefs, yet they still found a way to lose that game.
Do you think, and this is another question, do you think the Chiefs fear the Bengals? Because the Bengals are the only team that has come into Arrowhead and beat them.
Yes, absolutely I do. Because not only that, they should have beat them, and the Chiefs know it. Yes. And something that even though the Bengals lost, I still see something different. They're not intimidated. They don't fear the Chiefs. Like they absolutely walked in there fully expecting to win that game.
Absolutely.
And came damn close to it. Whereas like the Bills, I don't see that. I don't get that same feel. Or even Baltimore.
I got you.
Yeah. But anywho, yeah. It's just one of those things where, but the scarier part too, though, about the Chiefs is that now they're not even dependent on Pat Mahomes to do it because he did not play all that well in this game.
No, he has. Even in the
so they don't have to depend on him going and putting a team on his shoulders and winning the game for them.
Yep.
But he can do it. So yeah, it's.
Listen, the Chiefs. Who do they play this weekend? I want to see. They're on Monday Night Football. They play the Falcons.
Sunday Night Football.
We'll talk Sunday Night Football. We'll talk about that shortly.
Mm-hmm.
But it is time for our favorite segment. I kind of led that into that because I know we'll still be talking about football. But I haven't said it in 2 weeks and I've missed it terribly. It is time for she did that. She did it.
Oh, that's right. You weren't here last week.
Yeah. Thanks, Rich. But
you were singing in the rain.
Bitch. I was mad as hell too. Just saying. But while we're there, Chicago. Oh, Chicago.
Oh, bless them.
Well, I'm going to say this. Maybe Justin Fields wasn't all that goddamn bad. Okay, let me backtrack.
Sounds like.
Let me back.
Like you want to try that again?
But do the Bears either because they did get a new head coach, new offensive coordinator? Fuck, the whole team do.
Mm-hmm.
But do they know what they're doing?
The answer to that is an emphatic hell no. They are going to break Caleb Williams, and I fear for the man. Not to say that Justin Fields is good, but he certainly doesn't seem to have been getting a fair shake at. Let's just look at the facts. the Bears have never in their history developed a star quarterback.
That is true.
They never
It's been
have. No, name one. The 85 Bears was all defense.
that is true. No mind.
Yeah, it's a defense. Like there's a town that was built on defense. If you think about it, and you say, wait a minute, that you tell me one person that you would consider, yeah, like notable.
Literally, I am thinking.
Yeah, good luck.
No,
So
no,
anywho,
that's
they brought in, the Bears brought in all these offensive weapons and blah blah blah. It appears they did nothing to address their offensive line issue.
and you said that. Remember, you said that.
Yeah, they did nothing to address that offensive line, and we all knew that that was a big problem. You juxtapose that with the fact that they brought in a new coach, but he's a defensive coach.
Yeah,
And so you got a franchise that has never developed a quarterback, a defensive coach, and a rookie quarterback with a bad offensive line.
correct.
Just say it out loud. So there's some things that they were talking about throughout the game. The Bears, for the game now, average 3 yards of play. That's 3 yards a play, not a rush.
Not per pass. A play.
Caleb Williams dropped back 46 times to pass. He was pressured 43 times in the. The baby was running for his life.
Run, Forrest, run!
Run.
Baby, just run. As soon as you get the ball, just take off running.
No surprise, he was a leading rusher.
Yeah. I mean, soccer.
So I was thinking, I was like, God, this sounds familiar. You know what it's giving? Andrew Luck.
Didn't last, but a good 4 years in the league?
Maybe a little bit longer than that. But after that,
look, that baby said, "I'm not doing this shit."
after that lacerated spleen and like.
That baby said, "I'm over this bullshit. I'm not doing this."
Oh gosh!
Look, y'all ain't that good.
Ain't that like they're and I really do hope like the best for him because he does have this, he has a lot of talent and there's a lot of promise there. But
will the Bears ruin it before he gets to showcase it?
I fear it's not off to a good start at all. And I just because the first thing that you will want to do, you're bringing in a rookie quarterback, an inexperienced quarterback. Like, why wouldn't you want to address the offensive line? Try to build some kind of run support to take some pressure off a young quarterback. But the defensive-minded head coach is not going to think like that. So, whew,
I'm in the mindset. We'll get to this in a second. Rookie quarterbacks should at least hold off 1 year.
I think those days are gone, but I don't know. I don't think there is a one size fits all approach to this sort of situation.
Not. But if we're going to look at the likes of Caleb Williams, who is struggling at the moment, you are the face of the franchise and you're struggling. Lord, Bryce Young, oh baby.
Well, they're starting to Andy Dalton this week.
I know.
I don't know how he keeps failing upwards. Like you talking
redhead, honey. Since we done drove to Carolina, let's just chat for a second.
Yeah. Okay.
We take trips around here on this podcast. We go to different states. Bryce Young, baby, are you okay? you've been benched, and rightfully so. I think you need time to mold and to heal. Carolina, you on that bullshit. That baby gonna be scarred for life if you think that. Just saying. To watch him run around last weekend, I watched that game too. That baby don't look like he have a fucking clue. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, there's nothing really to say. Like he, I mean, if we've watched and seen him play, I mean, we all have two eyes. It is what it is. But to be fair, like Tua, I said the same thing about Bryce Young when they came out of Alabama. I did not. I didn't think he was an NFL quarterback. First of all, he weighs 120 pounds soaking wet.
Soaking wet. That part.
And I always thought that his size would be a problem. And
nailed it. Love it. Nailed it.
But anywho, and that there's a good chance he was going to struggle in the NFL, and he is. So,
and well, he has. Now the question is: do you think he'll return to a starting quarterback job, whether Carolina or somewhere else?
I mean, I think that is one of those. I don't think he will. I don't think he will be hired as a starting quarterback, if that's what you mean.
You think those days are over?
I think that those days may be over.
Okay.
I think he will get another chance this season. I think that the decision has already been made they'll more than likely draft a quarterback next year. And because I mean they still haven't paid Bryce Young, and
no, they haven't. He's still on that rookie contract.
Yeah, he's still on the rookie contract, and they're pretty sure they don't want to. But I'm pretty sure he wants out of Carolina. Anywho, two things. One, he'll get another shot at starting this year because it's Andy Dalton, the beige water pistol, as I like to call it. And that's because he's boring and mediocre, as I've been saying. It's kind of
but at least they will pass the ball, and they may not still win many games.
Yeah, no, Andy Dalton.
But their coach is great to look at, y'all. I will say that he is great to look at. So if y'all want some hot sugar on a good summer day, there you have it. He is daily fine.
That hot sugar. If you
listen, honey, you want some hot sugar?
Oh God. Well, yeah, it's just a poorly run organization. I think that, but yeah, I think he'll get back into the starting at some point this year. I don't know how many weeks, but I think he will. But after that, they'll probably draft another quarterback. At some point he'll become a journeyman, which would probably be the best thing for him. Because I do think that he has some potential, or at least we've never really seen it. But yeah, I think he's destined to be a journeyman. Okay. I think that'll end up happening. Maybe he'll earn a spot after he gets. If he falls into the right situation. Because like I said, right place, right time is proving to be very like advantageous or lucky or whatever the case may be for Derek Carr, one, because I think that's the reason why we see him playing with a whole different confidence that we never saw in Vegas.
Absolutely.
He's got a good situation. He fell into a good situation. He's got an offensive scheme that works towards his skill set under this Kyle Shanahan coaching tree with Clint Kubiak. He's got a good offensive line. He's got run support. It's kind of, hey, good for him. Baker Mayfield, same thing. I hate it. I got to eat crow on that one, but I think
feel bad, sis.
That is true.
Bad, baby.
Yeah, no, we were both very wrong. We were both very wrong on that one. I, I think that he is the real deal. Like, not that he's gonna, I don't know, be in MVP talks or anything like that. But,
No, but
he's
he's
like,
showing something that
Tampa and New Orleans are going to be competitive. Like the yeah. This if Kirk Cousins
this
could at least
division
play
will
with his
probably
weight
be
in
a little bit
salt.
more competitive than we thought.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this division is not as weak as we took for granted that we thought it would be, with the exception of North Carolina. But either way, um, but yeah. So, so yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna pray
Well,
for
let's
you,
drive.
Bryce.
I do. Well, let's drive a little further up. Baltimore. You lost the game by a toe, and then you lost the field goal. Are y'all okay?
uh, well, I don't. I
What?
truly. What's going on with their
Let's do this.
offense?
What's missing? You think? Is it better play calling, or is it just better execution?
Uh, I think it's a bit of both those two: play
Okay.
calling and execution. I think that we can get upset about the toe, but we can't talk about the two attempts that he had beforehand. That
Right.
one was a bad throw, the second was a fucking bad throw, and then on this last one, it's like, okay, good throw, but the toe was out.
The toe was
Um,
out.
and so execution, in the sense that I think that um, I think that he wants it so bad that he gets really tense and tight when
I
he's
feel like
playing the
right.
Chiefs.
I feel like he
Yeah,
feels like he has something to prove.
yeah. Well, Lamar Jackson, well, he does. Hell, you dragged him many a times on this show.
Yeah. No playoff Jack.
You hey, like you drag he absolutely has plenty to prove. Like he does. That's unequivocal. But uh but it's more of, I think that's hindering his execution, because we just now, at first I used to push back on that, because I just thought that maybe it was situational or something like that. It's like, no, he's
Or he
just,
maybe was just missing a piece.
yeah. And it's one of those things, like as I just said before, you have to play a clean game if you're going to beat the Chiefs. Like it's kind of their thing now. So yes,
Well, wait, but they take on the Cowboys this week. While we're here, might as well chat about it for a second. One's coming off of an ass whooping. Well, yeah, ass whooping.
ass whooping.
Ass whooping.
Like
Like throw something out of Kmart ass whooping.
you know that part that in that juvenile song, oh gosh, I just remember him saying, he said, "I'm trying to grip that ass, but my fingers keep slipping."
Oh, I know what song you're talking about.
Yeah.
What's his name? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, that's the type of ass whooping I was talking about with the Cowboys.
And the Ravens are desperately trying to get their first win. How do we see that one turning out?
uh, Catastrophically for the Cowboys. I'll explain why in detail. But I do like the fact that this game it has like drama,
Oh, it
because
got good.
it's
Got good
drama.
drama.
Yeah. Because they're so desperate.
Yep. I feel like
This is like Real Housewives, but NFL.
I
It's like Real
feel like
Housewives make it NFL. Like, they're desperate and
yep,
needy, and that's what makes the game dramatic and interesting.
dramatic. I feel like are they in Baltimore or Dallas?
Pardon?
I think are they in Baltimore or Dallas?
I believe they're in Dallas.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, I'm almost certain they're in Dallas.
I got you. I'm looking for you. They're in Dallas.
Okay, that's what.
Yep, they are in Dallas.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, so I was about to
I
say
feel
yeah,
like
it's gonna go catastrophically for the Cowboys, and here's the reason why. Um, they are a awful front defending team, and Baltimore has the capability of being a very excellent running.
absolutely.
So we've
And I don't feel
already
like Derrick Henry has been unleashed yet.
no, he hasn't. That I don't know if I don't know if they're still figuring out how to make that work. I thought they brought him in to be kind of like a closer, somebody that a dependable running back they can hand the ball off to and just shut down
Right.
games when they get a lead. That's the opposite of what they did, um, especially in the first game. So I don't know. I don't know where they are on that. But however, this is the perfect time to really kind of stretch his legs, air that out, just kind of see how that running game is really going
Think
because
that
the
ass against
Cowboys
the
are awful at stopping. Yeah, so Derrick Henry could have a very, very big game that game. But long story short, the team I think will turn it around. And between these two, Baltimore Ravens and Cowboys, is definitely the Ravens. And so I
Okay.
take them to go in there, run the ball. If they do commit to running the ball, they will win the game. And it
If
might
if
be.
they know, like I know, they'll go back and watch the same game that we all watched last weekend and try to re add some shit to it.
You don't have to add shit to it. It's literally this is you know it because you know what that game would look like to me. It looked how Green Bay the same way Green Bay walked up and down the asses. Like, no,
Last year in the
in
playoffs.
the playoffs.
I
It was
mean,
the
monkey
same
walk
damn
that
thing.
ass,
It was the same. Literally, is watching the same thing. The
and
offensive line
they
mauling
played high.
theirs. Yeah, 5 or 6 yards before any contact. All of that. This I was like, this looks like Green Bay, like
Yep.
all over again. So yeah, you ain't gotta. Like the proof is in the pudding. It's the same team. They didn't change.
And
They're not
they
better.
feelings are hurt.
They're
Look,
not.
they
Well,
feelings
no,
are hurt.
that fuck their feelings. They're not better, and they're
That
more
is true.
expensive now.
CD like, yeah, that's a lot of fucking money for two motherfuckers that ain't doing a whole lot. While we're there though, speaking of the Packers, how do you think he's out for the next 3 to 6 weeks?
3 6 weeks, yeah.
Malik Willis, Malik Willis or Willis, sorry, fared okay. Do you think they will have a winning record by the time Jordan Love comes back? Who do they play Sunday?
Yeah, let me take a look to see who they're playing. Um,
They take on the Titans and Will Levis on Sunday.
okay, I believe they'll win
I mean, Malik Willis' whole team. You gonna whip that ass, I guess.
that.
But
uh,
do you think that looking at their next, so the week after that, they have
okay, so
the
let's
Vikings.
see here. The Vikings, that's going to be a tough one. The Rams are really ailing right now from
Yeah, they are. They look
injuries.
really strange too by that. Like without Cooper Cup and Puka Nakua.
Well, yeah, no, I mean they're ravaged by injuries. I mean, like I think they've got several injuries on the offensive line. I think they get their tackles back this game.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they're just rattled injuries. It's a good team, but that's attrition is just a part of this league, and it's hit them pretty hard. Um, but but they're in LA. So I mean that's a losable game, but we'll have to see how some of these injuries go. Oh, now they've got some tough sledding to go. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
yeah,
say.
they've got some tough sledding. Um, I only saw the highlights from the backup. What's his name again? Michael Wilkes
Malik Wills. Malik Wills.
Malik Wells. Yeah. Um, but I heard good things. Um, and
He
not
held it
before.
down. There wasn't a lot of turnovers. He did hold it down.
Well, and I say I don't think they're going to ask him. I don't think they're going to ask too much of him, which I think would be good.
I think
Uh,
that playbook is now being built around him at least until Jordan gets back.
well, they have a very similar skill set. So I don't know that they have to build it terribly different.
You think?
I do think that they'll have a winning record. honestly. It
Because the earliest he can come back is week 6.
yeah. Um, yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. Anything
Okay.
after week 6, no. Because then they start going to get because they got the Texans and yeah.
Let me say anything after week 6 with a toss up.
I mean,
Uh,
I still think it's a toss up, but I do think that they could come out as a with a winning record. Yeah, I think Matt
Speaking of
LaFleur.
toss,
I believe in them. Like I think that they'll know that they can be trusted with an
okay.
appropriate playbook where they're back up. Go ahead.
Speaking of toss ups, why does Mike McDaniels look like he part of the Miami Mafia? We're gonna get to 2 in a second. Y'all, when I saw Mike
Yeah,
McDaniels
what is
on
going
the
on with he's always
baby,
been a he's always been an odd one.
he had on his good capris. Baby, his hair was good and wet and curly. She had on her good style, whatever
Wet and
happened to the
wavy.
case. Baby, mama was ready, honey. I don't know what. Baby, when I saw her walk to go check on tour and they showed her full body, I said, that bitch got on capris.
I thought they were cargo shorts.
She had on capri pants, honey. They just had some elastic at the bottom in her G9s. Y'all.
I don't know. Did it
Y'all.
look like he had frosted tips too?
Baby, listen. She looked like she just came from the mafia meeting to go coach football.
It looks like a man in his late 30s, 40s, but like in a costume of like
Yep.
a preteen from 1995. No, yeah.
Baby.
And
And
this,
then when he was at a press conference and talked, I said, Daddy, as high as a 747. Baby, she is, baby, listen. Y'all ain't telling Mike McDaniel she ain't fine behind him. I said, you must have a black girlfriend somewhere. I don't know who she is, but you got to have one.
no, Lord knows it's Miami.
But while we're here, y'all, first of all, concussion is a very real thing. Uh, I know Kenny has played sports, possibly has. Have you had any concussions while playing sports?
Um, I may have had a minor one, but I didn't. But I don't know for sure. 'Cause I've never had a confirmed one. I
Okay.
believe there's one time, um, when I was in high school and I took a hit and saw stars. It happened once,
Okay.
and so I was told that seeing stars is a sign of a concussion. But I
Concussion.
didn't have any symptoms or anything after that. I felt fine. Like I didn't, there was no confusion. Everything was cool.
Like needing to stay awake and things of that nature.
Oh, it was nothing like that. No, I mean, like literally, I would it like it like when I saw stars, but it was like very like, and I wasn't
Right.
out of it or anything like that. So I don't know, but if I did, that would be the closest thing.
That would be the closest.
Yeah.
The reason why I say that, this is to his 5th concussion.
Mm-hmm. Is it fifth?
This fifth, it's the 4th or 5th.
I think it's.
Dating back to his last game in Alabama, I think it's his.
I think it's
You
fourth. I think
think it's his 4th.
Yeah.
But when I watched the replays they played him on ESPN of all the concussions and things of that nature, I said to myself, at what point? First of all, he got 4 kids. I know. I said, damn, bro.
He got 4 kids.
2 got 4 kids.
All right. I see why he's staying in the game.
Right. Maybe a little bit. But at what point do you say to yourself, should I just take myself out? Is it worth it? But according to a report, Pim Daddy don't have no plans of retiring. He's gonna come back on his own time. But I'm like, dog, I've watched your head bounce off the ground a few times. Like bounce off the ground. Like and this is my own personal take. I do think that you should take a moment and evaluate the big picture of when this game is over. What will you have left of yourself? Should you come back? That's a hard task. I honestly would say no. What about you, Kenny?
Um, this one I find a little bit difficult because I know how players are, and
Strong and stubborn?
stubborn or foolishly committed is more or more or less what I would call it. Um, so I can't say that I don't see how he wouldn't be motivated and dead set on wanting
To play,
to play.
right?
Yeah. Um, I don't think it's a situation where if he gets medical, you know, that credible medical advice telling him that
It's
this
okay.
is what is going, this could possibly happen to you, strong indication that this will happen to you, etc. This will be the quality of life that you have to look towards if
Right.
you do continue to play, etc. Blah, blah, blah. I don't think that there's a situation where if that happens and he gets that sort of prognosis, that he is just going to, say bump it, kick around. I don't think that. I don't think he's that's the case. I just don't think that he's gotten that opinion yet. Um, and so, yeah, it's real easy, like, the day after when you're feeling a little better and this is that, you want to get back and, reporter shoves a microphone in your face. They're telling, oh, yeah, I'll be back. I'm not retiring, blah, blah, blah. But then when the doctor comes in and says, okay, well, if you keep playing, this will happen to you. People tend to have a different, tune. So
I'm
So,
torn. Like
so I guess
at
what I
times,
would say is I would listen to doctors. Like I would
like
get all the
there are
information.
like Celine Dion. There were moments of gold and there were flashes of light, honey. There are times when he is brilliant. There are times fleeting, but there are times. I just don't. Yeah, I'm like you. I don't know. I would listen and then weigh your options at that point.
I mean, for him, I mean, yeah, he just got paid. Um, he just got that contract. But it's like one of those things where like this is something that you've worked towards and for your entire life. You dedicated countless hours and blood,
Emily
sweat, and
has, yeah,
tears to. So I
absolutely.
get it. You know, I get it. Especially he just signed that contract. Yeah, it's difficult, but so sometimes, yeah, that I know it's cliche. The whole play, you have to save players from themselves. That's a real thing. Um, and I'll just say that, yeah, that it's. I think I would suggest that he just listen to lawyers. And this whole, I don't think he's going to be back anytime soon. Um, because
While we're
especially considering like if you saw the hit, like it wasn't.
he ran into Damar Hamlin. It
It just
wasn't a hit
Yeah, it just wasn't. It just didn't. So that means that it's clearly getting easier and easier.
to
And
get.
yeah,
Absolutely. Well, our fan questions from Wade. Wade is from. Wait, hold on. I apologize.
you're saying Wade.
Wade, WADE. Okay, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
His question to us is, what should Miami do though? If Tua is out of the picture, should they trade for a veteran? Or maybe for the lack of a better term, look at Bryce.
Well, I think Bryce is out of the picture.
I don't think Carolina will give him up so fast right
No, that's not even a good consideration. Oh, I think that you try to bring in a veteran.
like Ryan Tannehill, maybe.
He's out there. Or try to go pick up a expensive backup. That's always an option as
Where's
well.
Jimmy G again? Did we just? Oh, he's in LA.
See, yeah. So, so
He said, "See,
but regardless, I hate to say I told you so. I'm not going to, but I am going to give myself a pat on the back because I've been saying for a long time. I think I think I can. I think I feel pretty confident in saying I said this when Tua got drafted. Is
yes,
I did not think that he was going to be an NFL quarterback,
you did say that."
and he's definitely exceeded what I was expecting. The fact of the matter is, I think if you're Miami, it's time to start figuring out your exit strategy, like now, immediately. Um,
Especially if he makes the decision not to come back.
well, first of all, it's not if, it's when at this point. It's gonna happen. Um, we've seen it for ourselves because if that is kind of you're gonna take a hit like that and or worse
Again.
again.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna
they're not going to not hear you.
so yeah. So as far as I see it, it's not a if, it's a when he does. But I don't even think you wait for that. I think you start moving now. Like you don't you have to be ready to pivot. Um, if you want to stay success, if you want to stay successful, you try to build success. You have to.
Right.
So I don't think they wait. I think you read the writing on the wall right now before you lose the locker room.
The
Let
scholar made that's
yeah,
like,
they start figuring out your exit strategy like now.
yeah. I don't know because that Scholar Thompson, not Scholar Mays. I'm sorry, Scholar Thompson. They don't really have anybody.
That
Well,
Jacoby
before
Brissett is out there somewhere.
he just totaled 98 yards today in New England.
There you go.
98 yards total. New England's offense totaled 98 yards.
And all they do is
Anyway,
hire Bill
let's talk
Belichick.
about some predictions. Let's go back to the Eagles and Saints, Kenny.
Okay.
That is a matchup I'm definitely looking forward to seeing. Uh, I think it's going to be one of those good defensive battles. If the Saints start to get the Eagles to play to their type of football, we're looking at another excuse me, high scoring game.
I don't.
Do you think the Saints defense can contain Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley?
Uh, depends on which ones show up. I think they're definitely going to be a challenge. Um, I I expect that, like I said, I think this things will cool down a bit. I still think they're the real deal, but I think that we've got that there should be some tape on them now, especially running this new scheme and all that.
Right.
Um, and the Eagles are in a bit of a spot. So I think it's going to be a
The
very
offensive
competitive.
line didn't look that great.
Oh, the Eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't
Do
think that. I
you
mean,
think that they're missing James Kelsey in the center?
well, I mean, obviously, you'll miss that player for like his leadership. What he did. I don't think the offensive line was bad, at all. I just, it, the Eagles, if it turned to a shootout, that it leans towards the Saints' favor. Um, the question is like the Eagles have not shown an ability to put pressure on the quarterback because that's why they let Kirk Cousins.
Right.
Um,
They did not pressure Kirk Cousins at all.
yeah. So I don't know. I think this is one of those like reveal something games because I think if the
Do
Eagles
you think
lose it,
more than that a reveal game than the Saints and the Cowboys?
I think the Saints revealed themselves in the Cowboys. I'm talking about the Eagles. Are they going
Oh
to,
well,
yeah, like reveal themselves in the other direction? Are we expecting a continuation of last season
correct.
of just of the collapse of their offensive scheme? It didn't look like they have any kind of. I don't know. I don't know. There's just something's not right there.
Well, we will find out on Sunday.
I think where is it in Philadelphia or New Orleans?
No, it's in New Orleans.
It's in New Orleans. Okay, that's going to be difficult for them. I don't know. I got a feeling I'm going to give the edge to the Eagles, not because I'm being shady, but because
Slightly, maybe.
oh
I
no, I think that they understand the pressure of the moment, and so I'm just expecting a better outing from them. I could be completely wrong, but I do think it's a good matchup regardless. And
I do not expect another 40-point game, but I do expect a close game, and I do, of course, take the Saints.
yeah,
Let's go and flip a state over, baby. The Houston Texans and DeMarco Ryans. Listen, let's give them something to talk about. That's the name of the song, name of the game. And they have Nico Collins, Tank Dell, even old ass Stephon. You know he's in now. And C.J. Stroud. I bet you Carolina like, but catching Carolina going, what in the motherfuck we just did?
I know Carolina is so weak about that. That's gonna now that is gonna follow Bryce Young for the rest of his life.
And you were the number 1 draft pick / maybe bust.
And they moved up to get him.
Get to you. While CJ Stroud is number 2, has given them an AFC title and a playoff win, and almost an AFC championship in his first season.
And a lot of people think that they're going to challenge for it this year.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. And Sam Darnold and the Vikings, who Sam Darnold is throwing the ball. Maybe that's his only option. But, okay.
I think the Vikings are good.
They are good.
Yeah.
They are good.
Yeah. I think that they made a bit of a statement themselves.
With Aaron against the 49ers, who are looking real interesting, and not in a good way.
What I like about this team is that, what about this matchup? Was the two teams developing young talent,
correct,
going face to face. I was looking forward to that. But this, I wouldn't. If you told me last year this would be a game that I need to circle and make sure I watch or whatnot, I would. Yeah. So I think the Vikings are real. I think Sam Darnold is in that situation of right place, right time.
Right.
I think he's having that moment. He's got some years under his belt now, and that's one thing I have been hearing is that he's learned and developed and gotten better every year. And we knew he had the talent. Like we knew,
right.
He had
I feel like since he left the Jets, he gotten increasingly better in certain aspects of his game plan.
Yeah, I mean, I think year over year. Absolutely. Yeah. I agree. So,
who do you give the edge?
Is it in Texas or Minnesota?
It is in Minnesota.
I'm going to go with the Vikings on this one. I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Baby.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think they're going to slow down the Texans a little bit.
I think the Aaron Jones will get some more touches than he did last week to open up that passing game.
Yeah.
I do think that, and I think that that's a very good thing. While we still have some time, though, Kenny, I want to slide over into college football because there's some interesting matchups this week.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to talk about it just because LSU is trash, but sorry, my Geaus, go Tigers, but we've had some rough couple of weeks, fans. We take on UCLA this week in Tiger Stadium. Am I nervous?
Yes.
Gary Nussmeier is not showing me enough to. Well, Brian Kelly is trash, number 1. Number 2, the defensive coordinator, when you're new and everybody on your defense is relatively new, Yeah, it's going to be a long year. I don't foresee us in the Sea of Peas at all. I mean, if we fuck around and lose to UCLA, everybody gonna get fired. That's all I'm
But
gonna
if you
tell
lose
you.
to UCLA, then absolutely not. Again, it's a 12 team thing. So who knows what's going to happen?
It's very true.
But yeah,
Uh, Bama, Wisconsin this year. Y'all look real good, Kenny. All right.
but I'm
Jalen
cautiously,
Hero.
I'm
Okay.
cautiously optimistic. I just really don't like him. I don't know what it is about that boy that like just rubs me the wrong way. I just do not like him.
She's like, I don't
Um,
like her.
I don't. I don't like them. But no. They look good. I, they look sharp. It looked like a Nick Saban coach team. To be honest with you, it's kind of
Right.
it's just
It
like
doesn't look like he changed a whole lot.
yeah, yeah. So I think
What's your feelings though? We're what, 3 games in? What's your feelings? Are you
um
still optimistic? Because we're not in the hard schedule, or we
I think that okay. So I think that they'll make the college playoff. Um, People will be upset about it. Uh,
okay.
but they're better. They're better than I think I and most people expected. Um, I will say that it's just the point. There's still some questions in their secondary and also in the front, in the offensive and defensive interior, um,
Okay.
which is very, very unlike Alabama. You know, um, that's the part that gives me the most pause. Is
Right.
that we take for granted that
Mm-hmm.
Alabama has the big, but I mean not this time
Right.
around. So,
Well,
when they get in the immediate schedule, I mean it's Georgia coming up next week. So,
yeah, that is true.
I don't.
Um, Next up is UGA in Kentucky. Now, did they play this week, Kenny?
They
Oh
just played
shit.
this week. They UGA won by 1 point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um. The,
What do you think of Georgia? Are they missing something, or are we just
no, I think that I think Georgia is very much a contender. I think that that's just what I saw was just one of those games that they could do every year.
okay?
Because like who was it last year? They almost lost to before they were supposed to be. I can't remember how much time they kind of figured out, but yeah.
Right.
So I just think it was one of those games. Now, um, next week, uh,
Oh,
they go into Tuscaloosa to play Alabama,
right,
and that's gonna be crazy. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen then. Besides, because I know that Georgia has a chip on their shoulder from losing to Alabama in the SEC championship last year, and not going to
right,
that I know that sticks in their craw. Um,
right.
but they got to come to Tuscaloosa. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be very good.
Well, you know what they say. Go Bulldogs.
Do that.
I say go Bulldogs.
Is that what they say? What are you doing?
Yeah. I was trying to fix my pants. Sorry, they were twisted. Just shut up. They were twisted. My bad. They were twisted. Sorry. You
you
know
know
I'm
we're
old.
you know we're a video medium now.
Sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
You are old.
Bill. No.
I'm not. He is old.
Oh God. Thanks, babe. Anyway, sorry. Welcome to the world of being Robert Camp's husband.
You're welcome.
Just said it. Joe
Yeah,
Burton and Carey. Nobody else is.
yeah, but I love that man. I love that man. Um, Now this week, Tennessee and Oklahoma. Thoughts?
uh, I think Tennessee's gonna beat the first off. I think Tennessee.
Really?
I think Tennessee's a sleeper team. Um, If they play some defense, they've got this really high powered tempo offense because they got one of the coaches that he used to coach UFC, Josh Heupel,
Right.
in Tennessee, and that's what he runs, high tempo air raid offense. But he's finally got a school that can get him the athletes to really execute it. So I think Tennessee's going to win and going to make a statement because I think they're a lot better than people have noticed yet.
Nah. I will say this. I watch Oklahoma. Are Oklahoma and Texas for real now that they're in the SEC? Because Texas is showing their
Oh,
ass.
Texas could possibly. Texas is the contender. I picked
That
Ohio
was my
State
Matthew McConaughey. Yes.
Yeah, no, Texas is loaded, and they're going to be for the foreseeable future because they've got
Yeah.
a lot of money to spend on NIL, so recruiting. So Texas is real. They're very good. They've got a lot of athletes, a lot of size, a lot of length. Like they're going to be hard to beat.
I'm enjoying watching Texas, but now that Quinn, wait, I might make sure I'm saying that right. Quinn Ewers,
Yeah.
he's out. We get to see finally Arch Manning.
Yes. Who
What do you
actually
think?
can run? Did you see the side by side they did with him and Peyton?
I did. I'm excited for him though because he's waited a long goddamn time, and some people thought he would transfer.
He should have, but
Did you say?
well, yeah. Either way, but no, I don't know. I think he's a Manning. Yeah, he's going to be good. Like this is going to work out very well for them. Yeah. No, Texas is one of like I told you. I think it's going to come down between them and Ohio State.
Okay. Yeah, I think because the SEC is no longer split into two, I think the SEC game will be Georgia, and I'm hoping Texas.
Because I don't know how they're going to do how they're going to.
Because remember we talked about that they're not split into two.
Right, I know. So that's like I don't know how they're going to do the SEC championship.
What do you mean?
Well, last time they up until this year they had division.
Right, they had it. They split them in two, but this year it's all into one. That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
So like how they're going to do because like they don't
Oh,
do
I get what
championship
you're saying.
games.
Oh, they're
Like
gonna determine the
yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't understand the question. I apologize. Why your eyes look half closed? Are you okay?
So it's almost midnight. It's both
I know.
it's my
Well,
bedtime.
we're done. But I do have one more final fan question.
Okay.
And it's John Harbaugh because we do not have, unfortunately, we do not have a chocolate milk with soul, but of course we're almost an hour and a half. So totally understand. We want to talk about college football. But Wayne would like to know, Wayne is from San Diego, California. How do you think that John Harbaugh is doing in LA? They're
Magnificent.
2-0. Huh?
Magnificent.
I think that he is doing Justin Herbert is doing a lot better than I thought as of week 2.
No, he's doing what John Harbaugh does. Like he turns teams around. He does it fairly quickly.
And Big Daddy looked good. Big Daddy looked good. He was running to shake hands. I said, "Get it, Daddy."
No, I
Again, a gay show. Sorry.
I know, but how could I forget talking to you?
He's like
Anyway.
55. Oh shit. The man ain't old.
Anywho, but I think he's doing great. Like I mean, I think that he is. I think if somebody's going to be able to change that culture of that team, it'll be they're 2-0 for a reason. They are playing a style brand of football that John Harbaugh is pretty known for coaching because we've seen it. He take it everywhere he's gone and win. So I think he'll do the same thing here. I'm not saying that they're going to contend, but yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I think they're good. I think they're going to
I
be
think
rising.
I'm looking forward to the game against Kansas City.
Yes.
I am looking forward to the game they play against Kansas City.
When is that?
Because that will be a good game.
Yeah.
Will you say when is it?
Yeah.
I don't think it's for a while, but let's see the
Okay.
Chargers. I just want to see. Oh, nope. I take that back. Week after next.
Okay. All right. Cool.
In LA, nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
In LA, so we shall see. But on that note, we have come to another end of another fabulous episode of Who Dat Rises Up Sports Talk with what? A gay twist. Amen. Well, as you all know, you guys know exactly where to find us. Of course, that's Instagram under who_dat, DAT, rises up. Of course, Facebook, Kenny and Glenn, who that rises up. And of course, our email, who that rises up at gmail.com. It has been a great week. Of course, football has given us all the fuckery we have desired, needed, and wanted. We will be back next week. I will be greatly better, but I've missed you guys, and I definitely wanted to be back. With that being said, as we say to you guys each and every episode, and of course, before I forget, our YouTube channel, which we would like to say, please subscribe, click the link, and view. But as we say to you guys each and every episode, sports is for everybody, including you. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.